Hi, welcome back. So we are at the outline of speaking about class and static methods. Now, if I would have to change this class variable z to another value, as we said before, I could just get into the class itself and then assign the variable to be a new value of 10, for example. However, this is not a real practical way to do that. Instead of using the class itself to reach directly to the class variable and make a new assignment, we should instead of that use some other way. And that's as simple as using the decorator of class method. And then we start with defining. And usually in the convention, we say, for example, set variable z, something like that. Now, I'm getting back to this in a while. Just before that, I would like to say, in a terminology wise, this init function or any other function within that, we call it in the name of a regular function. So regular function that you expect the first argument to accept is the self argument, which indicating the class itself. However, in this case, the class method, the first argument we are going to expect to have not actually the self, because this is going to be assigning to the class variable. So in this case, we're going to indicate the class itself. So the convention of getting the first argument, maybe we use the CLS, which indicating the work as if it is a self. However, this is going to be a class method that is going to amend or change the class variable. The next thing, maybe we can expect a value. And then what we want to do basically is to take the CLS, which indicating the class as the first argument, dot the z value, and then we're going to get the value that we would like to pass. And I'm going to say that I would like to again use my class. However, I'm going to reach out to the set variable of z, and then I'm going to pass the value of 10. You will get the expected value as 10 and 10 when this value is changed. Next one is, we call it, or the third type, this is a regular method. This is the class method. Another one with a decorator, we call it static method. So basically it's like this: static method decorator is doing a specific functionality that you would like to add to the class, which doesn't receive or expect any argument at all, but instead it's just doing a certain things. For example, if I would this verification function, something like that, and it take a certain value, and I'm going to make a simple checkout on this value. If val is equal to 1, I would like you to return, for example, true. Otherwise, maybe return false. If any of these guys here, the instance or the class itself, would like to check a certain value, so var1 could run into, for example, the var function just to check out on the value of 5 and see what is the returning of that, or something like that. It depends on the task itself, but the idea is in there. You could get the value of false because it was not equal to 1, for example, or maybe it is equal to 1, and if I would have to run this one, I would get the value of true as expected. So these are the three different type of method. Maybe you need to differentiate the regular one, the class method, and the static method. Next, we'll be checking on the subject of the under method. I will see you then.